I feel like we're all being taught to use the mind more these days. And with every new tech advancement seems to be, it's the mind, it's the mind, it's the mind, not to mention all the things that distract our mind. But I feel like I was grown up and taught your mind is what's going to get you ahead in this world. Your mind is going to get you the job and the this and the recognition. And so I know I'm very mind oriented, but it feels like as a population, as a species, we're going the mind way and not down. It feels like we're going up.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So
yeah.
It's increasing even more.
It is, and I think it's been driven partly by this insatiable appetite for, the expansion of the mind and the mindset and all the. I pretty much my one of my predictions is in about 20 years from now we'll be looking back and say we had it all wrong, we had it assways. We should have been honoring the intuition and using the mind purely as the mind is a computer. It's just a laptop. That's all it is. And yet we give it so much credence. I mean, it's extraordinary. It's a brilliant piece of equipment, but that's all it is. The intuition, the soul, is just so unique to each of us. It's our blueprint. But the problem is when you follow your soul, it often requires you to stand alone. But we don't want to stand alone. Yeah. We want to fit in. And I know a lot of people say, no, I don't want to fit in. But if you really sit back and think about it, we want to fit into society. We don't want to stand out too much. And when you follow your soul, you've got to stand out, because if you honor it, it typically brings you in a way that leads you away from the societal push to follow success in the way that it's been deemed that success should unfold. And the other thing is that we're absorbing massive amounts of information. So the more information that we absorb, we're moving up into our brain. So we're absorbing huge amounts of information. And as I said last night, and it's just something I've been sitting with recently, is as we absorb information, we're not allowing that information to move down to a place of knowledge and move further down to a place of wisdom and move even further down to a place of awareness, because we're too busy reading the next book, right, and the next book and the next book. And the interesting thing is, I've realized that people who absorb information, they're not absorbing information because they want to really, really be knowledgeable and be wise and be aware. They're reading information mainly because they're scarce. We're almost afraid not to read the next book. I'm not saying books are a waste of time, I'm not. But we're almost afraid if we're not reading the next coolest, sexiest book, we're missing out. How many people are walking this earth feeling that they're missing out? I often people say to me, oh, I'm going to be 40 next month. I said, okay, great. Are you worried? Oh, I hate the idea of being 40. And what you'll realize, it's not about being 40. It's about that they are worried that life has passed them by or is passing them by. It's not about the age. It's about how they feel about themselves in the context of the life they've lived.
I did a TED Talk in January, and I said research is procrastination in disguise to a certain extent, because I felt myself doing that in the past. And sometimes I do it just for a dopamine loop, I believe, as well, that new info buzz. And I was up in Scotland last year in November, and I was up there for a retreat, and my room didn't have Wi-Fi. And so, God forbid, or any 3G. And so I couldn't get my dopamine fix when I go to bed. And for a few hours, I had to be with my thoughts. God forbid, right? And I know you are a big fan of unplugging and really just being with yourself, the decisions you made, and pondering them. And you even said something fascinating last night, which I had to agree with you with, is that even meditation is a way of not engaging with the decisions you make and with yourself. And I agree with that. I meditate every morning, but when I'm in a meditative state, I'm actually doing something or trying to achieve something. So in a way, I'm not actually just sitting there contemplating all of the decisions. And so I was just wondering if I could get your thoughts on taking a step back and, taking a step back from the goals, from the busyness, and from all of that information.
But we can't do that, Brian. I mean, that goes against everything. I mean, busyness is a badge of honor.
Especially in America.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm in America, but also a lot of other places. And it's become this, how are you? Oh, I'm super busy. It's become this almost need. It's almost like busyness equals, success. Busyness equals business. It doesn't.
Right. And people say they're busy. Whenever someone says they're busy, it means they don't have time for you, is one way of sub-communicating that.
Yeah.
I'm so busy. I'm so busy that it's not important for me to engage with you right now.
And that's a fair point, but I would go a step further and say that they don't even have time for themselves.
Okay. To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to londonrealacademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media login and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Real, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at londonrealacademy.com. So click on the link below, you'll be directed there and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there.